Why am I not? I had my. Uh-oh. There. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What's going on? Yeah, hello? Give me one. Why am I showing up on the stage? Oh, no. Wait, kill it. Kill it. Kill it. I made a mistake. I made a terrible mistake. There we go. I fixed it. I made a terrible mistake. Yeah, I figured it. Wow. It was this overlay, JPJ, all right? I kill it every week. This one overlay, they switched everything up in StreamYard. Everything's new on the side there. There seems to be an update. I went to put the overlay. It was blocking me out. I'll figure it out later. Other than that, hello, Isaiah. Nice for joining us this morning or afternoon where you are. We got our good friend Sandy, Guten Tag Sandy from Germany. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone's having a great weekend. Huge wrestling weekend this weekend. I want to thank everyone for understanding me taking the week off last week. It was my brother's bachelor weekend. I had a great time all the way in Cleveland, Quebec, where our neighbors were cows. Literally, the cows walk right up to the fence. We had a nice saltwater pool and a hot tub, which I stayed a long time in, which I basically cooked myself in all weekend. And this weekend, I managed to find a 10:30 a.m. screening of Superman so I can watch Superman yesterday before All In. Got pizza. Oh, thank you, Sandy. Got pizza, got home in time for All In. And boy, what a show it was. We were going to break it all down. Also, last night we had Saturday night's main event and Great American Bash, both which ran simultaneously to that one All In show. That's how long All In ran, which again, I have no problem with the long show. They're giving you your bang for your buck. And you could also, like stop and watch it later. Yeah, we had NXT. I watched the NXT show this morning. When I had time, we'll get into it. We had Goldberg's last match on Saturday night's main event, which we'll get into, and also the rapidly expanding injury list. But yeah, let's get into it. All In last night. Once again, a really fun. Isaiah saying 24 hours a day. 100% agree with you. Like I do need a break in between wrestling. I like my other entertainments. But yes, it was, for a wrestling fan, it was a really fun day. Like, say what you will about WWE counter programming stuff, but we live in the age of streaming where, here's the thing, if I'm going to probably watch the AEW show live because it's a live pay-per-view, and I'll watch the WWE one afterwards on Netflix. Like, it's simple as that. Like I'll watch it the next morning or afterwards. That's usually I put. We've got to get into it. It's a long show, starting a little actually on time today. Uh, we had the entirety of All In, which lasted, I think I've got the runtime here. The main card was 5 hours, 56 minutes long. And honestly, there were some ups. There were mostly ups, a couple downs. I mean, I'll speed through them. The pre-show card, you had the Sons of Texas and the doing double duty as they did the pre-show with the Von Erich brothers against Shane Taylor Promotions, them getting the win over Shane Taylor Promotions, which wasn't the last big win for Texas that night. Which again, like the pre-show, all the matches were fun. Like I tweeted out earlier, I love the idea, and like if you know Speedball, the joy it brings him that he is now co-workers with Big Boom AJ and the Rizzler, who are also on the pre-show in a victorious fashion. And you had the last match on the pre-show was FTR versus the Outrunners. FTR and Big Stoke cheating to win that one. Was a very fun match. I really like the future of the Outrunners, but it's clearly like it's a embarrassment of riches, and we'll get into it later with one of the matches later on. But the tag division in like the entire all of AEW stacked with talent, but the tag division is so stacked, and some of them are teams that are there, like that were just recently created, like Speedball and the Jet, like Jet Speed was just a like happenstance tag team, which we'll get into later when we get to the tag team match. But like FTR is hanging around that tag division. The Outrunners are like fan favorites to be tag team champions. So I hope to see the Outrunners, despite the loss, stay around that tag team title picture. Buenos dias, Fernando. Hope all is well today. Hope you're having a great weekend. We are getting into All In. We're just now starting the main card, the breakdown, the main card of All In, this, which happened yesterday. Personally, especially for these long AEW cards, and I know it's different for all over the world. Like we've got Sandy in Germany, which is an early morning for him. Like, but for like people, me on the East Coast in North America, a 3 p.m. start time was pretty much perfect, especially when you have a almost 6 hour card. Well, technically it was 6 hours with the 1 hour of pre-show matches. Like to have 6 hours, 6 to 7 hours of professional wrestling. Actually, yeah, it ended at 5:56. About 6 hours. The main card was about 6 hours plus 1 hour of pre-show. It was almost 7 hours of professional wrestling. Yeah, so see, 6 a.m. You wake up, have breakfast. Exactly. Like I was just checking. Somebody was saying on Twitter that their friends went for lunch to watch the pay-per-view at a bar and ended up staying for dinner. Like it was a nice full day of wrestling that I quite enjoyed. Yeah, but I like it was technically 8 hours, but like the first hour pre-show, I don't really count JPJ because it's not like it was rather just like setting up the card. But yes, we will get into it. The first match was for the AEW Trios Championship. You had the Ops in Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Shibata versus the Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli, Rila Yuta, and Gabe Kidd, who is their hired mercenary. And the Ops come out on top. I love the Ops. I was actually at my brother's bachelor party. We were watching an old Shibata match. And I'm just like, man, the genius of putting Shibata with Samoa Joe and Hobbs, like just three dudes who work out so well together. I love the Ops so much. I love Samoa Joe so much. But again, like if you're tired and you need a nap, go ahead, take a nap, continue watching AEW later. And we got a run in just in time for the main card. Big handsome Blair Pacheco.
It's because I didn't watch any of the pre-show. I was like, I'm strategically going to wait.
Oh, I sped through it.
I'm just kidding. I was like, fuck, Lawrence gets to talk about All In. I want to talk to All In with Lawrence.
I literally had I was getting my Pizza Hut pizza because I just finished watching Superman. I'm like, I walked up the street to, I was like checking my bus to bring me home. It's like, I've got half an hour and I made it within 2 minutes. It took me to get my pizzas done.
Hell yeah.
It took him a little bit, like run to the bus stop, and I had the pre-show on my cell phone, so I was watching it on the bus. Made it in time for the main card. Mm-hmm. First of all, how you doing, Blair? How's your weekend going?
I'm doing all right. Watched a lot of wrestling, I can tell you.
Yeah. So, it was combined with the post press conference, AEW went like 2 hours past 2 WWE shows that were stacked that night.
I know.
It was a crazy night. So we're talking right now about the Ops versus Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, and Gabe Kidd. What'd you think of the match? I felt it was a fairly fun match with a fun opener.
It was a good way to start things off. Yeah. I'm waiting for Wheeler Yuta to reach his final form, and it's just Cousin It from the Addams family.
That hair is taking him over. It's sort of like the symbiote in Spider-Man.
Yes,
it's Venom. It's taking him over. We are hair now.
You know,
there is no Yuta.
The one thing I noticed in that match is that like Hobbs, he has to be like, you have to put him into consideration for like the biggest homegrown AEW star.
Yeah,
from where he came from to what he's doing now. Like, I don't think when people were watching those darks and dark elevations back in 2021 and 2020, like that they thought Hobbs was going to reach to this level. But man, I'm so stoked for that guy. I love Will Hobbs.
Yeah, and it started the show off on a good note, having the Ops win, but still having the Death Riders stand tall with them taking out Samoa Joe, which my guess was he's probably going to have to leave. He has to leave to do promo work for Twisted Metal coming up soon. I figured why they sort of did the injury angle and had him stretch it out, because I think it's premiering soon. So I think it's the time of the year where you do hot ones.
Yeah.
And Chicken Date and every food related talk show you're contractually obligated to do when you have a TV or movie now.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Oh, I love them. Well, yeah.
It was a good way to start. You know, it got the crowd into it because like they love chanting meat, they love Samoa Joe, and like I'm excited for what Gabe Kidd will eventually bring to the AEW dynamic, because we're only getting like a little sample of him right now. So when he's full bore, that's when it's going to be hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like he's still a New Japan signed talent.
Yeah. Which
I would like to see him do more in New Japan. Like it's the only downside of what's going on with AEW and New Japan right now is New Japan is starting to become like a farm system for AEW, where like so much of their talent has been drained and gone there. And like it is starting to affect New Japan's product, where they have fewer stars that either aren't doing both or like aren't just New Japan, or like everyone's expecting to go into AEW. I would like to see more people stay and sign there, and maybe make a few appearances in AEW than like leave and sign with AEW.
And I think what it has done, it's given New Japan a chance to, they've been forced to build new stars. And
exactly.
when you're in that position, I mean, that it's a blessing and a curse, because, like you are losing a lot of the integral parts, but you're also in a position where like, hey, well, we got to keep this ship running. So, your Gabe Kids, your Yoda Sujis. I mean, the run that Goto had as champion, you know,
Yeah.
like it's I think that they've done a great job, and I think you're going to continue to see that. It's just a matter of having to roll with it a little bit and just putting their best foot forward.
Yeah,
I sounded like a hockey interview post game. Like,
Yeah.
well, what do you guys need to do? We got to get pucks in deep.
Yeah, pucks on net.
Pucks on net.
Got to get harder on the forecheck. Also, did they see properly that Goto got cast as E Honda in the insane cast that is a Street Fighter movie?
Man, you know, I've seen so much Street Fighter stuff that I do not believe any of it until like I see a factual report. And I'm just imagining, because someone put like Orville Peck as Vega, and I'm like,
yeah,
has
and
what?
Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, and Roman Reigns, and Andrew Shorts. I could say it, Andrew fucking Shorts, for some reason. I don't know why. But yes, the second match that came up was the first Casino Gauntlet, the men's Casino Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I felt this one was a little more predictable, because like there was only so much star talent that could possibly win or thing. So I felt it became like, especially later as the match went later and later on, it felt like it was MGF's to lose.
Mm-hmm.
He of course picks up the win over Kyle O'Reilly. He pins Kyle O'Reilly for the victory. What did you think of the match as a whole and like these surprises throughout?
I thought the match was a little long, in actuality, but it was still fun. The Casino Gauntlet, I think it's a great idea. There's no, like they even said, like there's no set time for the intervals. It's like whenever, and it keeps it fresh almost, like, because you're not just expecting every 90 seconds somebody new's coming out. So you could be watching for 5-6 minutes, then all of a sudden you get 3 or 4 in a row. But I think my biggest takeaway from it is that like we saw the build up towards this with Mark Briscoe and MJF, and I think that there's still a lot more to that story to tell.
Yep.
And I hope that that's something that they pursue going forward, whether it's Briscoe costing MJF his match when he does eventually redeem for the contract or whatever it may be. But I think like a feud with Mark Briscoe, that's really going to be a coming out party for MJF.
Yeah. Like I felt the match was fun as well. We'll get to the women's one later, but the women's one I felt was a little better. I think it was a very fun surprise to see Juice Robinson back with the guns.
Yes. And
Juice Robinson looking like everyone except Juice Robinson. Like he looked like what's his face?
He gave me Bo Dallas vibes.
Yeah, definitely Bo Dallas. Like he looked like 6 different. Like every time I look online Twitter, somebody else be like, "No, he looks like this person." Like clean shaven Bo Dallas, clean shaven Juice Robinson just looks off now. You're so used to him with the beard and just looking insane, and with him clean shaven, it's like he signed with the Yankees. It just looks weird.
Shaved those sideburns, Mattingly.
Yeah. But yes, that I feel like was the one big surprise of that match. If I'm mistaken, like then the guns coming out to help him. They weren't officially in the match. They came as backup for Juice Robinson. Again, setting up another like potential feud there. But yeah, there was quite a few stories told throughout the match and continuing stuff from from the night before at ROH. You had Takeshita and Bandito going at it again in the ring, which was really cool. Mystico and MJF going at it, and Mystico getting the long, getting his full theme music, which was really cool. Like, granted that like extended the length of the match, but like it was all in all a fun match. But I felt like, especially close to the end, a little predictable that MJF was going to win it, because I felt he was one of like the few people who weren't in a like story or already like fully engaged in the story, and like it would make and like that level of star power left that would be a main event caliber. But all in all, I didn't hate it.
No,
I felt like, especially like you don't know how many people are coming in, and especially near the end, you're still like, is this it? Is this it? And there's one last person coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Helps like build the tension.
Yep.
Yeah. Then so we got to the tough part of the night, which was, it was announced on the pre-show that Adam Cole would have to relinquish his title due to injury. And before the match, Adam Cole comes out, cuts a very emotional promo, which like full immense. I started tearing up during his promo, where he says he's too emotional right now to officially say he's retiring, to talk about retirement at all, and just him fully overcome with emotion, which we still don't know the extent of the injury. I watched the post press conference, and again, this is fully me assuming with context clues that it seems like it might be concussion related.
Yeah, that's what Fightful reported afterwards.
Yeah, because like again, it's straight up just context, because Tony Khan said up until that morning he was scheduled to wrestle, but that morning he called Tony and was feeling ill. Like he wrestled on Collision and he said it was fine, and then like called Tony that morning, said he was feeling sick and couldn't go. Like it's one of those things where, especially with concussions, you never know the extent of it. You could be fine one day, and then a week later, just full symptoms hit you like a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
And it was enough. And somebody as prideful as Adam Cole, as a professional Adam Cole, barring literally this scenario, would still want to go and wrestle for this crowd. And you could tell the disappointment, not only that his future is so uncertain, but like he's disappointed in the crowd that he can't wrestle that night. And it really hit him. More like, what'd you think about what happened? What was going through your mind when you heard?
I think the first and foremost, I mean, it's wrestling, so it's, in the grand scheme of everything, it's not as important as someone's health. And the main thing is that like he takes the time that he needs and he can get better and do what he loves and be involved with wrestling in whatever capacity that, he's able to. And you could tell just how tough that was for him. I'm glad he got the chance to talk about it. And it was just, I know that it's kind of, you hear people say that it, kind of subdued the sort of the event and the crowd for a little bit, and understandably so. But the fact that he was able to have that moment and just talk to them is what's important.
Yeah. Like afterwards I was going, and we'll get into it. It was announced during the pre-show that it would be a fatal 4-way match between Dustin Rhodes, Daniel Garcia, Cal Fletcher, and Sammy Guevara for the now vacated TNT title. And like I was going back and like I was in the end like happy Tony gave him the time to talk about it and dress it himself, because I felt it still would have been weird in the crowd because people wouldn't have been sure what happened, because it was announced on the pre-show. I don't know if it was said to the crowd. Like I'm sure people would have saw on their phones, but like I think people would have not known what was happening. So I think they needed to address it at least to the crowd and the audience, because they would have been off and not understanding fully what was happening. So I think they had no choice but to have Adam Cole give that speech. And it deflated the crowd, because you could see in the crowd, as like everyone online was emotional, everyone in the crowd was emotional. Oh, so many, like from every company, like it truly shows the measure of a man, like not just in-ring talent, but just how nice of a person Adam Cole is, that literally every person from every company sent a message of support. Like, and so like somebody put up the picture, and like it hits even harder now, of Kevin Owens and him in the hotel bed, him with the ROH title, Kevin Owens with the Universal title. And just like both those guys are just like having their careers up in the air, like two of the best ever do it, and two of the best of like the modern era right now. And like it just sucks that both their careers are up in the air. And yes, it deflated the match, and it took a while, despite like the best effort. Like everyone in that match is so talented, and it took a little bit for the crowd to get back, I think. And like a lot of people were mixed on it, on the finish. I think in this moment, Dustin Rhodes is the right choice to win, because like I was thinking throughout the match, I'm like, if Kyle Fletcher wins, like the crowd is dead. If Kyle Fletcher wins, it's not going to help the crowd because he is a heel. He is with Don Callis, and like, and it also is like was very expected. So like, and like it wouldn't have been fair to Kyle Fletcher because the crowd would have been dead. Like I don't like it's worse than like a booing reaction. I felt there would have been a subdued reaction to him winning the title. Like I was literally worried about that. I'm like, Kyle Fletcher's going to win, and there's going to be a subdued reaction. And I was shocked by Dustin Rhodes winning, but like the emotion on his face and the fact that he was at home did bring the crowd back. At the end, like again, like I disagree a little bit with JPJ saying it's the worst decision of the evening. I honestly think they get it because he probably was going to. Adam Cole was probably going to. I think the choice probably still is to have him win at Forbidden Door. I agree he doesn't need 3 titles, but like 2 of them are ROH, and I have the very big thing that it's a transitional thing, and he's still going to lose it to like, Kyle Fletcher.
I just want to interject one thing because like for Kyle Fletcher to win, people will, people want to see him win. That's great, but they don't want to see him win like that. To have him beat somebody who is so universally loved like Dustin Rhodes in a singles match, that will be more worthwhile for Kyle Fletcher to retain than if he would, or for Kyle Fletcher to win the title there, than to win in a pieced together 4-way match. So like, the emotion on Dustin's face is going to play into it. There's so many so many extra factors in here that like in the grand scheme of things, when it got put into a 4-way, it makes more sense for Kyle to win it later on than to win it there. And realistically, Kyle Fletcher's above the TNT title. Yeah. Like I think that he should be competing up in the unified or even the world title picture right now.
Yeah.
But like, it's a good stepping stone for him.
Yeah. 100%. Like I part of me, like I was thinking about today was like, I think the Adam Cole might have retained initially, which is why they put it on Dustin and on Kyle Fletcher. I think Tony probably still had a plan to put it on Kyle later, and because Adam Cole's title run would have been sort of short, so I think he wanted to give Adam Cole a little bit of a longer run before he lost it.
Mm-hmm.
So like I wouldn't be surprised that's why they put it on Dustin. It's because they didn't want to put it on Kyle right away, because they wanted to build this out for a little longer, and maybe at Forbidden Door coming up, or like with like I think they wanted it a little longer, and then it sort of like rushed their decision a little bit, because like I didn't entirely hate the decision. I think Dustin, like it was especially when your crowd is that deflated and you need them back, it definitely brought the crowd back in at the end.
Yeah, for sure.
Like again, no problem if he loses on Wednesday either. Like he's clearly a transitional champion who Dustin gets his moment with a singles AEW title. Yes, he's got 3 titles, but most people don't count the ROH titles. No. Like this is his first AEW championship. And like it shouldn't be a long run. I still think Kyle Fletcher should win it and sort of like crush him quickly, but like in a singles match, it makes like it puts Kyle Fletcher up more too in his same one-on-one match. Yeah. But the next up after that, we had Swerve Strickland with Will Ospreay versus the Young Bucks, defeating them via pinfall, which apparently they are now Swerve and Ospreay are listed as EVPs now on the website. but the Young Bucks are no longer EVPs after losing to Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland. The one thing was, it is a little funny. The Young Bucks long intros to coming in, but man, it deflated the crowd again because like they took so long. But I loved Swerve's entrance, having Jojo Offerman come and sing Shaka Khan, his entrance from the Independents. which like the second starts saying, oh my God, he's singing the like just like the flashbacks to him and Swerve on the Indies with the crowd singing along to Ain't Nobody Love Me Better Than You. Just the whole crowd getting into it. Like, if you haven't like watched those intro of him dancing in the rain, that was such a good entrance music and like such a nice touch to have JoJo sing it out before he comes out. Was a nice touch. And the match was so fun too. Like it was a very much like that. It's one of those love it or hate it where like, oh, there are no swelling destroyers. I hate everything.
Oh, I hate fun. Ooh.
I hate fun. Yeah. And they literally pass out for like 30 seconds afterwards.
Yeah.
It was like that sprint was so fun and like so insanely articulate and hard to do that it had to be for the best wrestler in the world to do it. Like, what would you think of the matches on a whole?
I loved it, and I think it continues to reinforce that the Young Bucks are one of the greatest tag teams of all time. And I don't care if people don't like that statement; it's true. They went into this match, and I think I like some of because I guess the plan all along was it was between Hangman and Ospreay, because one of those guys was gonna win, go on to the Owen. Whoever lost was gonna end up teaming with Swerve. Yeah. And I think that this dynamic almost works better than if it would have been Hangman and Swerve teaming up. But I thought Swerve and Ospreay, everything about it, their intros were great. Like even the fireflies that were on the screen behind JoJo, like Tony Khan, it shows how much he loves professional wrestling to have something like that there. Like that he wanted to make sure that it was a moment that the JoJo and her family will always remember, and I think that was really great. The match was fantastic. Give me all the super kicks, all the destroyers. Yeah, it was the ending with the house call hidden blade to Matt in the middle of the ring. Fucking fantastic.
Oh yeah, like the end that sequence with like that crazy sequence was like which went viral, and some people are like, oh god, they're not selling anything, but like with Swerve ending it with both of them hitting, one of them hitting in the blade, one of them hitting the house call, and there's everyone passing out. Like the double down there. It's so well done, and like the level of talent to pull that off that quickly without a mistake is insane. Like everything was so intricate and so well planned out. I enjoyed the hell of this match. And honestly, this one caught me off guard. I thought that the Young Bucks are going to win, and it was going to be like next year Ospreay was going to win the title at All In back in England. Like I was kind of expecting that, like it was going to be officially 1 year later, but like I don't hate it. I like them losing their on-screen titles and can't carry as much weight around, and then like it adds a new layer to the Young Bucks going forward. They're again, it's Twitter JPJ. Like if people are gonna say what they want, it is what it is. Like I get it. It's everyone's tastes are different. But yeah, to be like this is dumb, I think is factually wrong. It's a lot of fun. It makes sense. Like momentum's carrying them and adrenaline's carrying them through these things, and then they just collapse afterwards. It all worked. Like everything in that match worked. I mean, Swerve and Will worked great together as a tag team. All in all, a really, really fun match. And again, it brought the crowd back into it. Like the crowd's still a little affected at the beginning of the match, but we're starting to get their energy back after the Adam Cole announcement, which is not an easy thing to do, especially when you've got a long show. And then the Casino Gauntlet women's match, which we talked about the midnight for Texas. I was so pleasantly surprised that Athena getting the win over Mina Shikawa in the Gauntlet match. Such a smart move by AW here and their creative team. Like everyone going into it wanted Athena either to face Mercedes for the title. They wanted her big moment in her home state. Yeah. and they absolutely gave it to her. And like, I don't think people at first were expecting her to win this match. Like,
No, I think she was almost an afterthought in it.
yeah, she was added late. He announced her late. That it almost seemed like it was Twitter bullying one Tony Khan to put Athena in the match. Like, people weren't happy that she wasn't had an announced match on the card. And then, like, I think last week or this week that they announced she was going to be in the gauntlet. I'm like, oh, this is an afterthought, but like, oh, she's going to get a nice moment in the gauntlet. And for her to win is so cool and sets up so much possible matchups between, like, if she wins the title from Tony and has that one thing hanging over Mercedes' head, where she's like, I can beat Tony, but you can't. And I have the heavyweight title that you can't win. You have all these titles. I have the one title you cannot win. Because Mercedes did beat her during the tournament, and like it would set up a great potential, like continuing the rivalry between her and Mercedes, and the possibilities. And we'll get into the women's main event later, the first of three. But like, I felt that all in all, a fun match. What do you think of the matches on a whole?
I loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun. You know, Stat, Megan Bain, Willow all got a chance to shine.
Yeah.
Getting, you know, the sort of, I don't want to say debut, because I know they've wrestled on Ring of Honor, and I think they may have wrestled on AEW at some point, but Alex Windsor showing up.
Yeah.
I thought she looked good. And then the big surprise for me was seeing Cherie there. And I was so jacked up for that, because, I mean, when you have the best women's wrestler in the planet now as an addition to your roster, I think that is a huge get. Whether it's AEW or I'm hoping it's AEW, but I could also maybe see some Ring of Honor stuff too. But that's really huge, and I'm so hyped for that. So I loved it. Glad to see Athena win, and a big moment for her. And they got to start vetting people in the press conferences, because why the fuck are you asking about Bill Goldberg's retirement when it's her moment? Come on, dummies.
Like, most questions I'm fine with, because everyone's content is different. But like, you're asking about another company to, like, it makes no sense to ask that question to her.
Yeah,
especially like, man, like the pop she got when she came out was so huge. Like, I was so happy for her. She's been like working her ass. She's been carrying Ring of Honor for years now. Like, a brand that honestly feels like an afterthought a lot of the time. And trying to make it relevant, trying to make this women's title relevant. And she's 100% doing that, because she's going to be carrying it with her potentially against Toni Storm in the coming months, whenever she decides to challenge for that title with that contract. Like, there is a big match possibility here that I'm very excited about. Like, I think this is the best outcome for that match. Like, this is a match where I didn't know who was going to win this one, because like, Stat, I would have been fine with Stat winning it again. Like, there's like so many, like, Mina Shirakawa would have been like, even though she just won the ROH title, the TV title last night, or on Friday night, like, she was somebody you could see winning this match and getting in a match with another title match against Tony. Like, this was really like a up in the air thing. And like, I quite enjoyed this match, and I was very happy with the winner.
No, I agree. It could have went a few different ways. The right choice was made in the end, though.
Yeah. Then I was talking earlier about the jam-packed tag team division. We had the AEW World Tag Team Championship with the Hurt Syndicate, with Bobby Lashley and Sheldon Benjamin defeating Jet Speed and the Patriarchy, the Jet Speed, Speedball, Mike Bailey, and Kevin Knight, and the Patriarchy, with the now former Patriarchy, with Christian Cage and Nick Wayne. Man, this was a fun match.
Yeah.
Like, I love how every match, I quite clearly have seen a lot of Speedball Bailey's matches.
What?
Of a person. Surprise, surprise, the dude from Montreal has seen the guy who came up in Montreal quite a few times. And every time he always finds something crazy to do, like having Sheldon suplex him to the outside from inside the ring. just like how that dude can get air so easily is insane. Like, and like the having him and Kevin Knight, who also is signed with New Japan as well, but have them so quickly form a bond just because just by happenstance, just by the fact that they were signed and debuted at the same time. And it's just like, well, we're going to put you together in this 4-way or this 4-man tag. Then they saw how well they worked together. I'm like, all right, this might be a thing. And they started tagging more. And now they have an official jet speed name. Like, shout out to the Speed Racer joint gear that they wore to the show last night. But like, again, a great outing for them. And then you had the patriarchy, who after the match, well, first of all, the Hurts and get defending their titles.
Yes.
But you had the patriarchy implode as Nick Wayne finally turns on Christian. And with Mother Wayne, they all funny because everyone, even Thing followed them with them to whatever is going to be happening. I would be surprised. I would like to see Nick Wayne start his own group and like break out more as a single star now.
I got some thoughts on this.
Yeah.
Okay. Because like people, first off, a lot of people are giving Copeland a hard time here because he did his little entrance.
Yeah.
I want to say one thing though. Like, yeah, he was making the save, but he has no allegiance to Christian. Like,
yeah,
realistically, Christian made his life a living hell.
Yeah.
So, like, okay, he can come out there, he can do his thing. He doesn't need to beeline it right for the ring. Like, I'm okay with this. You know, he made his entrance. It shocked who was in the ring because they're thinking, why is Cope here? They stopped what they were doing. The attention was firmly on Adam Copeland. So, you know what? Yep, I'm okay with this. Second all, man, did Kip Sabian eat that spear. I love it. That was great. And the last thing was like, because people love to hate Christian. Like he gets some ridiculous heat. They are not going to be able to turn the patriarchy against Christian with Christian around. They have to build up Nick Wayne as a bigger heel, and they're not going to be able to do that when he's kind of playing second fiddle to Christian. So for them to write him off for a bit to kind of build up Nick Wayne, build up FTR, and I have no doubt we're going to see Edge and Christian against FTR at All Out in Toronto.
Yeah.
So like this, I think this was a smart way to do everything. They can pull Christian aside to kind of flip it and do that turn without him being present and like not being able to.
Yeah. You've got it like about 2 months to build like Edge and Christian coming back together. I like that they didn't immediately hug and like mea culpa.
Yeah.
But, like Christian's like he does. It was a bit of a corny line trying to rhyme it with "go fuck yourself," like "go fix yourself." It sounds like the TV censored version, like when you watch Die Hard on TV. Yippee-ki-yay, fire trucker.
Yep.
Yeah. But it did make sense that Cope isn't gonna immediately take Christian back.
No,
like he obviously didn't want to like see him get concussed, but like it makes sense that they've got to build to them reconciling over the next few months. And yeah, like it looks like the match, if it's potentially going to be FTR against FTR, could even be for the tag team titles. Or if FTR wins the tag team titles in between, there's a lot of possibilities there. But they're gonna have their moment in Toronto, which like I'm gonna be going to All Out tomorrow. Like I bought myself a ticket.
So did I. I'll be there as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We'll actually get to bro down. Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm very excited for that show.
I'm disappointed because I booked my tickets it's just a quick in and out, like Friday leaving Sunday, and then they announced that mystery wrestling show on Sunday, and I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna be at the airport when it's going on, so I'll miss that. Like, I wish I would have known, and I would have booked a later flight.
Yeah, I was planning. I still haven't paid for my. I still have to buy my bus ticket, my Airbnb, but I was planning. I was like heavily debating staying till Wednesday morning because Tuesday I want to go to a Jays game. So they're playing. They're actually JPJ in the chat. They're playing Boston on the Tuesday, and it's dollar hot dog night.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Just crush 30 hot dogs like I'm in the hot dog eating contest.
You're going to be crushing glizzies like Stone Cold would crush Steve Weisers.
Yeah. But yeah, like I'm so stoked for that Mr. Wrestling show. And also like, I think they're potentially planning other stuff. I hope they do plan stuff around it because like the last Toronto pay-per-view when I was at Forbidden Door, they didn't really have much like them doing stuff around it like they do for All Out and other shows in the States. So I hope, or All In, I hope they do plan some other like events around it, like sort of like WWE does. And like, because we don't get the StarCasts here.
No.
And like, I would like to see stuff like a few other, like, that's why I'm debating. I'm still deciding when to come down and when to either the Thursday or the Friday. It's been like the debate to see potentially what the schedule might be. If I'm like, but yeah, I'm very excited for that All Out show. Yeah, and I'm very excited they're straight up building to that. It's going to be a big moment to have them in Toronto one last time.
Yeah,
Edge and Christian. Yeah, and then we had our first of 3 main events. This match was so good. And we could finally put to bed the Mercedes is the king booker of the show. God damn, it's the stupidest people on the internet. That's the dumbest people on the internet. Yeah, she clearly has control of this $1 billion company.
Yes.
That she just runs herself and decides everything. And it's not because she's the most marketable star that they're going to. And also, not even their company. It's independent companies that are putting their title on. Most of those are independent. Like, it's not Tony Khan. It's other companies. They're like, do I want one of the most marketable women star in the world to have my title and show up to my promotion? I wonder why I would want this. Like, but Mercedes putting Tony Storm over clean after a Storm Zero from the top rope. Crazy match.
Yeah.
Like, it was so much fun. Like, man, Tony Storm's like the best in the goddamn world. Like, so good at this. It's like people do credit like the writing, but like it was like the writing set her up. It's like the football reference, like RJ City and the writers in the back handed her ball at the 25 and she took it 75 yards to the house. Like she is like the Saquon Barkley of AEW, where like she was given this like character and aided with some stuff, like given like reference of it, like has carried it and done so well. And not only that, but managed to make it work in a match, in like every match she's in every rivalry she's in. And I was so happy to see her retain. And it was a like very hard fought match. And it was a really well told story too, of like Mercedes continuing to try to get the quick roll up pins for the win. And every time her kicking out and like Mercedes growing frustration, like the repeated Storm Zeros and Mercedes kicking out.
Yeah.
It was a well-told story. Really, really fun. What did you think of the match as a whole?
I thought it was great. I think it's definitely one that could have went either way. Like, they all like the way with having Athena win the gauntlet. You were thinking like, okay, Mercedes is going to win the championship now. You know, they're going to run that back. So I like that they had Tony win it because Athena's, I think, like 60 days away from becoming 1,000 days as Ring of Honor Women's Champion. So you have to think that they're gonna like push for that. Yeah, it'd be I mean, at this point, why not? So I'm curious when they're gonna have the Athena versus Tony match, but I'm hyped for it. I love this. I thought it was a great match. It was a lot of fun, and that's all you can really ask for. So they did some good stuff, some fresh stuff, and yeah, it was good.
Yeah, like I'm excited what's next for Tony Storm. Like you've got Athena waiting in the wings for that. That's going to be a huge match, no matter what card you put it on.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a main event match right there.
Yep.
Athena is deserving of an AEW main event as well.
Yes, and she's come a long way since she debuted in AEW as well. So it's nice to see, she's worked hard for all of her successes, and it's nice to see that she's reaping the benefits of it now.
Yeah, and like this loss doesn't hurt Mercedes at all. Or
No.
like Mercedes still TBS champion, still looking dominant as all hell throughout. Like it worked out perfectly. And like again, like you said, whoever won, it would have worked out fine.
Yeah,
like Tony would have been fine, but I think it worked out a little better with Tony winning, because now you sort of like separate both divisions again, and you've got Tony at the top, who is just so good at this, and like I'm so pumped for that other women's division, and I hope, like, I can't wait to see more, and I hope they get to main event a couple, like at least one of the next pay-per-views coming up, because Tony Storm deserves it, Mercedes deserves it.
Yeah,
like they've been putting in that work.
Yeah.
Next up, we had another chapter in the long storied rivalry of Okada versus Kenny Omega, and Okada defeating Kenny Omega with the Rainmaker to win the now unified, what's called now the Unified Championship. Granted, and because it's impossible standards to set, maybe the worst three of their matches of like their match, but still a very fun match. And they beat the hell out of each other, and still watching two of the best do it. I still enjoyed the matches on a whole.
Yeah, it was easily the worst of the feud, and even it being the worst, it was still a great wrestling match. So it's not a negative thing to say it's the worst. It was, if that could have been the like they could have ended it after that match, and like that could have been the main event, and still people would have been like, hell yeah, great match. It's just when you look at in the context of the feud, there's just so much that these guys have done and been through. So
yeah,
it was fun though. I don't think this is the last time we see those two feuding over this title. I do think we get another one in All Out, actually, and I think that's where Kenny wins the championship. But he's talked, and I know, Kenny doesn't have a lot more left in him. Like he's getting up there. His body has been through a lot, so I think we have to appreciate every opportunity we get to see Kenny Omega wrestle.
Yeah, like I know, like I was watching the press conference before the show, and I know Don Callis was saying, both him and Okada were saying, "Oh, this is the last match," but I don't think it's the last match between him and Omega.
No.
And I did enjoy that Tony Khan springing on Don Callis that going forward that the unified title is going to be defended on Continental Championship rules, which means had it been during that match, it's like I would have fired you for telling Don Callis had have been I would have fired you for interfering in the match, because in Continental title rules there is no interference allowed. So going forward, the unified title, there is no interference allowed at all. Strict no interference policy for that when that title is defended, and it will be defended in the Continental tournament.
Yeah,
which I think is in the fall, November, October range.
Yeah, November, December.
Yeah, because I was at a Continental title match when they were the one time they were in Montreal. And I met Eddie Kingston afterwards. That was after his match with Claudio.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, still a fun match. Like, again, the ceiling was so high for those two, it was impossible to meet, because the story's been told. Like, it was an impossible thing to match what they've done before. And then finally, we got our main event, the Texas Death Match. We got Hangman Adam Page and Jon Moxley, and it was exactly what you thought it was going to be. Absolutely brutal match. great story told throughout. You had Singer say, like, just you're just saying, Kenny's running down his career. I'm like, no, in my head, I'm like, no one ever really retires, because we just had Daniel Bryan show back up and taking bumps again like crazy and taking suicidas. I'm like, Jesus Christ, stop diving me head first.
Bro's been gone for 9 months. First thing he does is a tope suicida.
Yeah. Like you had thing falling from the raft, sitting, like the video of him just hanging out in the rafters before he had to start coming down was hilarious. Like, that dude is insane. Like, that high up, it's insane. Looked like a tiny ant just hanging there for like 5 minutes as Daniel Bryan gets his shit in. But yes, after months of the Death Riders and Jon Moxley keeping that title in the briefcase, Hangman finally defeats him by submission, choking him out, literally hanging him over the top rope once again, and Jon Moxley tapping out. And we have a new AEW champion. What did you think of the match as a whole?
It was great. I mean, a fantastic cap to this sort of storyline. I think the way they ended it showed a lot of things. One of them being Tony Khan's ability to pivot with storyline, because I think they mentioned, or somebody mentioned that this was not the original plan. You know, I think they really did want Darby to be the one, and after seeing the groundswell of support and really the fans almost clamoring for Hangman, they wanted it, and by all means, it was the right decision. They did a great job. I think Hangman has done such an incredible job in AEW from when him and Swerve had that initial promo, and Swerve called him out on everything. And from that moment, we saw a new Hangman Page, and that's a couple years ago. It's been a long, slow build, but man, it was worth every second of it. From the run-in, seeing Bryan Danielson there, Darby, the stretcher job by Ospreay, and then the ultimately Swerve helping Hangman. It sets up feuds going forward. It was just a great cap to a night, and I loved it.
Oh yeah, and just the brutality of that match was the amount both those dudes were willing to put on the line to tell this story. Like that shot of, like, within the first few minutes of the match, was getting forked to the head, busted him, just the blood going everywhere immediately. Like Mox just dragging through the glass, like just dragging Hangman through the broken bottles, like through barbed wire tables, and then the nail spot near the end with that bed of nails, where, like, also, like, really impressive the amount, the little distance that he had to hit that buckshot lariat. He had no space. The fact he still got it in, like, I was nervous as hell, because I was like, the bed's right there, John's right there. He had just enough space to do his flip and land and still hit it. Was super impressive. And, like, landing Mox onto the bed of nails, and, like, Maria Shafir looked great, like, being the strong person on the outside throughout at the beginning of the match. Like, they told a great story throughout, and the insane physicality of it was so much fun to watch. And, like, it was one of those death matches where it's like the death matches aren't here, like, it's not for no reason. And, like, having Hangman finally be able to save AEW and bring that title back out in the open, and the fact that they kept the nameplates on there, Daniel Bryan's name, or Bryan Danielson's nameplates still on there, the American Dragon ones, was a nice touch, and, like, a very good cap to the end of the night.
Yeah, I loved it. And even considering the report that came out beforehand about, people not wanting him to do the yes chant, and he still did, and that they ran overtime. I'm very happy with everything about that show. So that's all I'm going to say.
And I'll just do a quick wrap up of the, like, WWE shows that night. So I watched the NXT one. I felt that was straight up just a second NXT show for the week. Like it didn't feel like it felt like it was setting up, Evolution. It was sliding up. It was just there to set up Slammiversary and Saturday main events that night. It just felt like a second NXT show. It wasn't much to it. Like I felt the best match of that night was Ethan Page and Ricky Saints. That like Anywhere Falls match was really, really fun. And like the main event was fun too. But like it honestly just felt like an extra episode of NXT. And Saturday night's main event, we got in all fairness, was the best Goldberg match we have seen in a while. And that partially was due to sad circumstances of Seth Rollins injuring his knee and that match having to be cut short, which again, like awful to see. I don't think there has been, like, I think WWE's waiting to tomorrow to make official word on the extent of his injury, but it looks like he's going to be out for a little bit. And again, it's never a good time having an injury, but like, especially for them, everything was harping on Seth Rollins being there and him being Money in the Bank. Just sucks.
Yeah.
And like, it's not an enviable position. Like, they credit to Seth telling him, like, I'm going to get up and we're going to do the finish of the match, heading LA Knight, like audibling in the moment, having LA Knight just quickly hit the BFT and winning. Thunder. There is about to be a thunderstorm. No. Thunder. But yeah, like, but then the Gunther bumping his ass off for Goldberg, who, like, doing his best to make a very old Goldberg look good, because man, he didn't have much on some of those clotheslines and some of the things. Like, it was very much like, this is an older version of Goldberg, and this is 100% on Gunther selling everything. But yeah, like, they had to drag that match out because we're looking at it like, there is still half an hour left in this show, and you have a Goldberg match main eventing. But in the end, Gunther chokes out Goldberg, which was the right call. And well, again, you look at the AEW. I will say this: the one thing which I couldn't help but do the comparison of was how each company has treated the aging, retiring WCW legends. Was like, one, put them on a show. Like, granted, they're both putting them on like towns that are very meaningful for them, like both Sting and Goldberg. Like, I was comparing the two, but like, the fact that they put it under the constraints of an NBC show, which has a hard cut at 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. and cutting his speech just sucks. Because like, it's the last time you're seeing Goldberg. Like, feel how you want about him. You've got to put him on a show where he's able to give a farewell speech. Yeah. And like, give him that fanfare. Whereas like, AEW built an entire pay-per-view around Sting retiring. And like, did it at the Greensboro Coliseum. And like, AEW just looks better at giving them that moment than WWE, because this whole thing felt rushed. Yeah. For a little bit now.
What? And WWE rushing things this weekend?
What? Like, they could have done better by him. And yeah, like, people are rightfully concerned about Cena potentially having his last match at Saturday night's main event, and him having the constraint. Like, they've got to give him the full hour for that thing, because like, you're not going to cut off his farewell speech, where it's like, everyone's been waiting for like to do that to Goldberg and have him like the match end, go to commercial break, and then have 30 seconds and hard cut out, was just a bad look on a whole.
Stay tuned for your local news.
Yeah. Like it was like, honestly, best match. Goldberg, like, Gunther made Goldberg look excellent throughout. And like, Goldberg still at points looked like an unbeatable machine. Like, just eating Goldberg's chop was like a cool spot during the match, and just like start him down. But yeah, all in all, really fun day of wrestling. Tonight there's the Women's Evolution, which I'm actually excited for. Like, they're which, like, honestly, a lot of that NXT card was just setting up this card. Like, it was so blatant that they just added a second NXT show just to spite, like, it does the NXT guys a disservice because no one was talking about NXT while it was live. Everyone was talking about AEW, and the same thing's going to happen during Heatwave. Like last year, I was at Heatwave, and it was a fun show. Like it was a great card and a fun show, and just doing them a disservice that they're once again putting it up against AEW.
Yep.
But either way, as a fan, I got tons of hours of wrestling to watch during the weekend, and I enjoyed myself throughout.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was some great wrestling this weekend. I mean, I think Bandito Takeshita was the match of the weekend for me, but there was still so much great stuff, and it was just it's a great time to be a wrestling fan. There's a lot of great matches, and I think we're very fortunate right now.
So Blair, what's going on with the Grainmaker Pod? What's going on with For Exposure this week?
Well, the Grainmaker Pod, I got an episode coming up with Inferno dropping this week. He wrestles out Vancouver Island, doing some great stuff with 365. Had a clip go viral that he did a death match with Eddie Osborne. So stay tuned for that. Dropped a episode of my AEW podcast, Chilling with JR and Blair. It was previewing All In, so it's a little, no point listening to it now, but it's a lot of fun. For Exposure coming up this week. I can't remember what we're going to talk about. Probably West Coast Pro. We'll probably quote more movies, and hopefully Pluggo stops being mad at me.
Yeah, isn't that the GCW Coney Island show coming up?
Yeah, there's that one. We got that West Coast Pro. And I think I got two others jotted down on my list to talk about. I got to start grabbing graphics for it this weekend. And then the weekend after that, it'll be LPW preview show, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about yourself, Lawrence? What do you have?
Me, not that much. I just have this, where you can catch me every Sunday on the Brunch Gimmick, and you can follow me at KurtSandyG on Instagram and Twitter and Blue Sky, where I'll be talking wrestling all night. I'll be live tweeting the Women's Evolution show, which everyone should check out. I feel it's gonna be a really fun card, and you can catch me back here. I have an idea for next week's show. I'm gonna have to. It's a long shot, but I've got an idea that in the pocket that I'm gonna have to ask the bosses about. But again, thank you, Blair. Blair for hanging out. Thank you, Sandy in the chat. Everyone in the chat for hanging out with us. Fernando, JPJ, me, Isaiah. Thank you for checking us out this week, and we'll be right back here next Sunday at 1 p.m. to talk about another big week in wrestling. See you next week, guys. Bye.